Welcome to lecture number 3, and I have been discussing about the background knowledge necessary to carry out the experiment number 2, that is the transient response of electrical circuits. And as background knowledge, I recall that I started with the various circuit elements, and I discussed with resistance. In my last lecture I discussed with inductance, and recall that an inductance will henceforth be represented like that, and the applied voltage, which could be any function of time, is obtained by this is the value of the inductance last time we have seen, and you have applied some voltage which could be some function of time, and it will draw some current at any time t. If the magnitude of the voltage is Vt, current drawn is It, and if you have assumed the direction of the current in this fashion and di dt is positive, then I know the voltage between these 2 points will be L into di dt. The polarity is important. It will try to oppose the further increase in current because of Lenge's law. That is what I told you. And obviously, if you apply the KVL equation in this loop, it looks like that Vt will be equal to L of di dt. That is the fundamental from KVL. This is the KVL equation of this simple circuit. Inductor, let us assume this to be an ideal inductor, L. So this was last time I told you, and also we note that the energy stored, it is not a dissipative element. Energy stored at any time t when current is small I will be equal to half Li square. It too will be a function of time, because current perhaps will change with time and things like that. And this is the thing. Therefore, in case of resistance, parallelly if I draw, this is R, this is your applied voltage. So voltage drop across the inductor is L di dt with this polarity. Whenever you show current in this direction, please make sure you are writing the correct polarity. And in case of a resistive circuit, we have seen this is the voltage across the resistance, that is potential of this point with respect to this has to be R into I, this voltage, and this is the supplied voltage. Okay, now I will be now telling you most interesting part of the inductor. You see, what is our problem? Problem is supply voltage is known. I want to find out the current. So what should I do? I should, from this I write down the KVL equation, and then I say that di dt is equal to 1 over L into Vt. Please listen very carefully what I am doing in these steps. So di dt is this. I want to find out I. Therefore, I write di as 1 over L Vt, and dt I bring it to this side, and then I integrate both the sides, is not? And this will be then the current It, and this will be the right hand side. I have to calculate to get the current value. Now the question is, what should be the limits of this integration? So this integration, supply is known, Vt dt, which could be anything. When I say anything, it is anything, means any arbitrary shapes of voltage. except of course, anyway, so a reasonable function, uh, Vt, whose description is known to me like that. This is Vt. This is t equal to 0. Now I am interested to find out the current at any time t, which is it. That is what I am doing. Therefore, this will be the current. Now, the problem is that what should be the limits of integration of this? Look here, in case of resistance, I was simply equal to Vt over R. So, present value of the voltage decides the value of the current. No previous voltage knowledge is necessary. But in this case, the inductor has been subjected to voltages prior to this t time of different magnitudes, like this. Here t equal to 0 so much. So this integration limit should be minus infinity to t. Is not? Then only you get the current at the instant t. And therefore we find that the present value of the current, which I am rewriting this, depends on the applied voltage, no doubt, but in a different way than a resistance. What is that? That is this present value of the current, this one depends on previous values of the voltages that you had applied across the inductor before this t. All these voltages, magnitudes, along with the current value of the voltage as well, because the integration is up to t, will decide the present value of the current. Therefore, an inductor is an element which has got memory. That is, right now, at this point of time, what is going to be the current is decided not only by the present value of the voltage, but also on the previous values of the voltages that you have applied across the inductor earlier. All these informations are necessary to carry out this integration, that is from minus infinity to t Vt dt. So this is the expression of the current when an inductor is excited by any arbitrary voltage Vt. Present value of the current depends not only on the present value of the voltage, but also on the previous values of the voltage. So inductor is a memory element. Inductor has memory. Inductor has memory, unlike resistance. The current which will be flowing through the inductor is decided not only by the current value of the voltage, but how you behaved with the inductor with previous voltages. That matters. It comes out to be this. And this integration, if you carry out from minus infinity, mind you, this is the limits of integration. This is nothing but this area under this voltage time graph. So area under this curve divided by L will finally fix up the current in the inductor. It may look a bit disturbing. Okay, then to find out the present value of the current, all these voltage informations which has been applied from time immemorial, because t equal to minus infinity, what does all this means? Okay, you should not worry too much. As you proceed, you will know how simple it is. So anyway, this is the formal description of the current which will be flowing through the inductor. This expression is similar to this in case of resistance. For resistance it is this, for inductor it is this. Okay, now in the next slide what I am going to do is we will further investigate this equation and bring out one very important properties of inductor. Okay, that is this one. Achha, to explain this one, this integration it, I rewrite this. Okay, let me tell you at this stage only. This is equal to t equal to minus infinity up to the present time t is Vt dt. That is the thing we have seen. Now suppose I say that you have an inductor which is supplied with at t equal to 0, suppose I will be doing some switching. Okay, suppose this is my time axis. At t equal to 0, this is t equal to 0. At t equal to 0, some switching is done. I will explain this, what I mean by this. Some switching is carried out, is implemented, whatever it is, implemented. Now the question is, at t equal to 0, you are doing some switching. Naturally question comes that for t less than 0, what was the thing? Okay, the inductor might have been connected to some other circuit, and at t equal to, and you remember I am drawing bigger, but this 0 minus and 0 plus, these are actually 0 minus is almost bumping onto 0, but really not superimposing on O. Similarly 0 plus, a slight deviation from 0 towards the positive time axis. This I explained you earlier. But for so this is this length is as small as you can think of, but nonetheless it is on the left of t equal to 0. Similarly 0 plus is a time which is a little positive number, as small as you can think of, 10 to the minus 128 whatnot, but it is on the right hand side. Now what I am telling, at t equal to 0 I am doing some switching. Let me give you draw some circuit so that you understand me better. Suppose this inductor was in some circuit here. For t less than 0, the circuit was connected like this. Okay, it was connected. Therefore, in an RL circuit, current grows exponentially, we know. And on this side, you connect another circuit. Say this was R1, this is L, this is some E1 voltage. It was connected there, current was building up, something like that, and here is another inductor. I'm sorry, this side you connect a voltage like this. Therefore, at t equal to 0, what you do, you bring this switch here. At whatever time you are doing that, I am counting my time from that instant. So, you bring this switch connected to here. Now, when you connect this inductor to this side, then this inductor has inherited some current from this circuit. Okay, depending upon the parameter values and at what time you are switching it off. So this only I am telling that when you do some switching involving an inductor at t equal to 0, maybe at t less than 0 it was part of another circuit from where it might have inherited some current. That is, at t equal to 0 I will be doing the switching, but maybe there exists I 0 minus. So at t equal to 0 switching is done, at t I 0 minus maybe there is some current existing just prior to carry out the switching. Inductor might have inherited some current from some other circuit right at t equal to 0 minus. That is the point I want to tell. But the same inductor I have now connected to the some other circuit. Okay. Now, therefore, obviously, you know that I 0 minus should be equal to 1 by L, and mind you, the voltage across the inductor is this one, not neither E1 nor E2 like that. Voltage across the inductor is voltage across the inductor. So I 0 minus because of this should be then Vt dt, and you have to integrate it from minus infinity to 0 minus. Whatever time you want to get the current, up to that the area under the volt time curve will be like this, you know. That is the thing. Okay, now at t equal to 0 minus you have made the switching. This inductor has become part of another new environment, new circuit, and I know how much was this I 0 minus when I connect it here, and that is this one. Therefore, you first understand this one, that this whole integration Vt dt, how the inductor was behaved before t less than 0 with some kind of voltage applied across it, all this integration is that information is nothing but I 0 minus itself. I mean, one did not bother about, okay, what voltage you have applied, then current build up, this, that happened, but at t equal to 0 you are going to do some switching with this you want to play with this inductor, suddenly trying to make it part of another circuit, and then what I am telling, this integration is nothing but I 0 minus, that's all. Whatever current existed just prior to carrying out that switching, immediately before that, that is I 0 minus, and that is this big thing, minus infinity to 0 minus Vt dt. Think in that way, okay, whatever voltage earlier you have applied across the inductor, so this will be the thing. Understood? And obviously so this is the thing. Similarly, somebody may write that I 0 plus current through the inductor at t equal to 0 plus, he can say by virtue of this equation, same equation, he will say that, oh, this is equal to minus infinity to 0 minus to 0 plus into Vdt. That is what he will say. What is that? 0 plus is immediately for t greater than 0. Now, this fellow can be written into two pieces. That is, these steps are important and very interesting and logical. What you can do is this, you can write it, okay, this is 1 by L, this is t equal to minus infinity to 0 minus 0 minus. This is Vt dt, and then I will break this integration into two pieces, 0 minus to 0 plus, and Vt into dt. I can always do that, no problem, is it? Therefore, and 1 by L, of course, is there. This will be the thing. Now, this first piece, I know it is nothing but I0 minus plus this integration. So, I0 plus will be equal to I0 minus plus 1 by L into whatever is this integration is between 0 to 0 plus Vt into dt, Vt dt, function of time. This is the thing then, you understand. So, this is the integration, whatever you will get. Now the question is, so we have got, where the page is gone. So I will get another fresh page. So this is most crucial to understand. So what I have got I0 plus to be equal to I0 minus plus 1 by L 0 minus 2 0 plus into Vt dt, is not? Now the question is, what is this second part? I0 minus I have understood, because whatever previous voltages you have applied for t less than 0, you carry on with this. Acha, let us assume that at this stage, let this Vt, let me write here, Vt, let this be a reasonable good function, I mean, these are qualitative, not like strictly like mathematician I am telling, but okay, let this be a reasonable good function. For example, Bt is suppose like this, whatever voltage you have applied earlier and before, voltage is something like that. And I am concentrating on this integration, which I am showing on a larger scale, 0 minus and 0 plus. This integration I want to get. Vt dt from 0 minus to, what is this? This is Vt. Suppose it is a continuous this function like this. Now 0 minus and 0 plus, as I told you, are as small as possible. Is not the proximity of 0 plus and 0 minus is around 0, origin 0, t equal to 0, this is t axis, and this is as small as you can think of. But nonetheless, 0 plus is on the right of t equal to 0 and 0 minus is on the left at t equal to 0. That is what I am trying to tell. This is tending to 0. This separation is very small, epsilon tending to 0. It means that. Okay, if that be the case, and if Vt is a reasonably good function, suppose continuous function, what will be the fate of this integration? It will be 0, because this strip is as small as you can think. This area enclosed will become as thin as you can think of. So, in general, if it is a reasonable good function, this part of the integration will tend to 0. That's all. Therefore, we will conclude that I0 plus is equal to I0 minus, and that is same as I0 itself. What is the difference of this function at t equal to 0, this length, t0 plus close to this, t0 minus this, about this Vt. Therefore, there is no distinction between I0 minus, I0 plus or I0. It is one and the same thing in the limit that 0 plus, this difference, minus 0 minus, tends to 0 itself. This width is as small as you can think of. That is the essential thing. Okay, therefore we get one very fundamental relationship. That is, in other words, what I am telling, that with some reasonable good voltage function, if it is applied, then current through an inductor should be continuous when you do some switching. So current through an inductor, current through an inductor will be continuous. At the time of switching, at the time of switching transition, time of switching, at the time of switching transient, say I liked switching transient. I think I have been able to convey what I wanted to tell you. Therefore, in an inductor, it will be like this. Now the question is, okay, reasonable good function, fine, but I told you your supply voltage may be a square voltage, where that applied voltage function may not be what is called a continuous function, Vt. Then will there be any difference? Let us see that. For example, suppose Vt, earlier it was this much voltage, t less than 0, it was part of another circuit, applied voltage across the inductor was this much. Then at t equal to, you have increased the supply voltage to this level, is not? That is also a switching. That is, from one voltage level to another voltage level, you are reconnecting the inductor. If you do like that, then there is a surprise, and it is not a continuous function, as we discussed last time. Then what will be the fate of this integration? If Vt happens to have some discontinuity, discontinuity means the level of the voltage changes in no time, vertical rise, vertically it goes up. Got the point? It goes up vertically. That is, in no time the voltage level has changed from say plus 5 volt to plus 10 volt. Then also you have made the inductor from one circuit to another. I can say, okay, battery voltage, you have changed it to some other voltage level. It's not that way, we can always think. Therefore, in this case, what happens? What will be the fate of this integration? It will be 0. Why? Because the magnitude of the voltage during this 0 minus and 0 plus is really, as I told you, I am not sure, should I write this voltage or that voltage, because it is under transition. But transition under no time. Therefore, area under this curve, but it is nothing like infinite value, that Vt. It is going from one finite value to another in no time. But that will not deter me to calculate this integration. I will say, oh, this integration will be then 0 because area under this V versus time curve over this interval will be 0. For example, if supply voltage has increased like this, if it has gone like that, 0 minus to 0 plus, if it has gone, then the area under the curve is this much. So it is vertical. So area under the curve will be once again 0. Therefore, then also I0 plus, whatever it will be, this is mind you about the voltage I told, must be equal to I0 minus. Therefore, with finite number of discontinuity in your supply voltage waveform, also this will hold true, I0 plus I0 minus. Your Vt need not be always a continuous function. It may be a square pulse as well. But still you can apply this rule. So all these things eventually boils down to this, that we say that in an inductor, if you apply some voltage, then the current in the inductor at whatever time, or you do some switching to change the configuration of the circuit, change the supply voltage, this, that, the I0 plus and I0 minus has to be same. That is, current through an inductor will be continuous. Now, this statement is to be read with a slight pinch of salt, in the sense that, okay, if the supply voltage is a reasonably good functions, can there be any functions, any supply voltage can you think of, which may perhaps cause the I0 minus and I0 plus not equal? Yes, there exists some voltage function. Of course, some crazy voltage function. Okay, and that is called a delta function, impulse function. If the supply voltage is an impulse, then of course this integration will give you a finite number. In fact, in your course in signals and networks, that impulse function will play a crucial role. Although in the laboratory it is very difficult to obtain an impulse and excite the circuit with this type of function. I will only tell this much, that so the important thing is it is then looks like that it is then like this, that an inductor L, it is a memory device, because the current that it will draw depends upon the previous value of the voltage you applied across the inductor, including the present value of the voltage. All these informations are necessary to determine the current flowing through the inductor. So it is a memory device, and I simply write like this: if Vt, supply voltage, is not an impulse voltage, if Vt is not an impulse, I will exclude that imposition of an impulse voltage to the circuit where an inductor exists. I will not do that. Suppose mentally I am prepared, okay, in any case I am not going to excite the circuit with delta t. And in that case, I0 plus and I0 minus must be same. What is 0? T equal to 0, you are doing some switching. that I have told you. If you do the switching at some time, suppose capital T, if switching is carried out at some time t equal to capital T, then I will say, oh, I t minus must be equal to I t plus. Of course, this you understand. That is, at that time, previous to that time, how much current was there in the inductor, that you find out, and that must be equal to, because current through an inductor should be continuous. It cannot have a steep rise, like a vertical shoot up of current. If somebody says he has drawn current without any impulse applied, if somebody says this is the current he has got through an inductor, it was flowing like this, then this, then this. Is he talking senses? I will say nonsense. This sort of change of current in no time in an inductor is not possible so long you are applying reasonable voltages. Reasonable voltage means the discontinuous square wave pulses are allowed, no problem, that I told you, but you are not applying delta T. Now this inductor, this last comment about the inductor, if you look at our physical systems, mechanical systems, this equation V is equal to L di dt, it looks similar to the applied force is equal to mass into velocity, dv dt. So often people say that inductance is an equivalent of mass in mechanical system. Velocity may be velocity of that mass may be considered to be the magnitude of the current in an inductor. Very I mean, one can compare, okay, it looks like that. Can you change the velocity of a mass instantaneously? No, velocity is continuous, provided your force is not an impulse force. Similar thing here, that is whatever I have told. You know, you are suppose a bowler, you have given me a full toss, you have thrown a ball at 100 km/h and I hit a 6 over boundary. So the ball was coming to me, just before immediately it was striking my bat, t equal to 0 minus. It had a velocity towards me and now I hit it. Okay. The contact time of the ball with the bat is very little, but I have been able to change the velocity of that ball almost practically in no time. That is an impulse. So similarly, impulse function exists in electrical network also, and as velocity is continuous, velocity cannot have a sharp rise, so also the current through an inductor cannot have a sharp rise. Got the point? Therefore, this you must keep in mind, and then in the next class I will tell you how to sketch the current waveform when you apply different kinds of voltage across an inductor. Okay, thank you. Go through this very carefully. These are the new things you will be learning. Okay, we are taking a deeper look into an inductor. It is merely not I am writing V equal to L di dt. I will now try to see that, okay, am I in a position, if I know the voltage waveform, how to get the current waveform. The change in the magnitude of the voltage, how it decides the current value. And while doing that, I found out that current through an inductor will never have a sharp decrease like that. No. Provided you are excluding the impulse response, impulse voltage functions. Thank you. We'll continue with this.